from the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, this is your UI7 Newsbreak.
Hello, I'm Connor Seco.
And I'm Zehan Wang. Welcome to UI7 Newsbreak.
Coming up today, a student finds a swastika in the foreign language building.
Look at the legendary statues around Champaign-Urbana.
And a furry friend fell in Follinger. Try saying that 5 times fast. On Monday, a student found a swastika painted in the foreign languages building men's bathroom. This comes a month after another swastika was found in the campus tunnel. Jewish student leader Ian Katz-Nelson reported the swastika to police, who have not yet found the person responsible.
At first, it's a shock. It really is a true shock to yourself, because someone is deliberately targeting you, and in that case, I wanted to do something in response.
Following the report, Chancellor Jones sent a mass email last night to students, staff, and faculty addressing anti-Semitism. Jones wrote, "I want to state publicly and unequivocally that acts and expressions of anti-Semitism are acts and expressions of hatred and discrimination that are in direct opposition to our core values. Bias and prejudice are antithetical to the educational foundations of our university and hurtful to our entire community. The idea that any individual feels threatened for expression of personal religious or ethnic identity is unacceptable." The email addressed both the swastika found and concerns about a recent presentation with anti-Semitic content at a staff development program by a housing student worker.
President Trump is becoming increasingly frustrated with House Democrats eagerly waiting to begin depositions after an impeachment inquiry. A whistleblower claimed President Trump repeatedly encouraged Ukraine to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden as well as his son.
Former U.S. Special Envoy to Ukraine Kurt Volker was deposed by 3 House committees regarding the whistleblower's accusations. This person claims that President Trump pushed for Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden. The deposition itself lasted over 8 hours, and Volker provided Democrats with 60 pages of documents. These included text messages which demonstrated outrage by senior State Department officials that the administration would make aid to Ukraine dependent upon helping the president's re-election. The White House now faces multiple subpoenas. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi insists Democrats are pushing forward with the investigation.
I think the president knows the argument that can be made against him, and he's scared.
Senator Elizabeth Warren holds the responsibilities of public servants in high regard.
Politics, and that we have all sworn an oath of office, and we need to get out there and do what the Constitution requires of us, and that is hold this president, who believes he is not subject to the law, to hold him accountable.
The Dallas courtroom takes an unexpected turn towards forgiveness about the emotional sentencing of former policeman Amber Geiger. An act of kindness ends the trial on a merciful note, as Bottom family members and Dallas police embrace Geiger despite the murder of her former neighborhood. Bottom Jing, the victim's brother, Brandon Jing, said he uses his faith to move forward. It has been a little over a year since Geiger shot the victim died in his home. And despite the sentencing, the Bottom family wished the ex-police received a tougher sentencing, like his surviving son. The father says he wants to reunite with her in the future. As Dallas is healing, hope and love are the driving force towards change in the community.
A new statue commemorating former University of Illinois football player Dick Butkus is set to be unveiled this Friday, October 11th at the Henry Dale and Betty Smith Football Center. The statue of the College Football Hall of Famer was announced back in a 2017 press conference by Director of University of Illinois Athletics, Josh Whitman, saying that Butkus embodies the identity of the Illinois football program. Before his time as a linebacker for the Chicago Bears, Butkus was number 50 for the Fighting Illini football team. Joining us now, Newsbreak's Perry Apostolakos. Perry, what can you tell us about other statues in the Champaign-Urbana community?
Well, Connor, it can certainly be argued that a University of Illinois student hasn't really come to campus until they've taken a photo with the alma mater statue. I've taken a dozen this year alone. I've even taken some photos during Ebert Fest with the statue of Roger Ebert outside of the Virginia Theater in downtown Champaign. And Champaign City Mayor Deborah Finan has been spotted taking pictures with Mr. Edwards in downtown Champaign as well. It's easy to see that Champaign-Urbana is already home to many public artworks. With this weekend's statue unveiling, here is a closer look at why CU is so fascinated by sculptures.
Melissa Garcia, sculpture student at the University of Illinois, knows firsthand the impact of publicly displayed artwork on a community.
When you take things out of the art, like out of the museum setting, and you put them in the public, you don't have to pay a $35 fee to go to the Art Institute. You're allowed to make it part of you.
Other statues in CU include the Jester outside of Seven Saints, Mr. Edwards perched at the intersection of Chester and Neal.
You can even sit outside the Virginia Theater and pretend to watch a movie with Urbana's very own Roger Ebert giving his signature thumbs up.
Champaign City Mayor Deborah Finan recognizes the value of accessible artwork.
They become iconic and they become part of what your community is known for. They're landmarks, and it also tells the world that, you know, we support the arts here, and I love that.
Garcia focuses largely on abstract, installation-based artwork. She likes to create pieces which the viewer can physically engage with. Although she does not sculpt people, she is familiar with the history of artists around the world rendering the human form.
It's really interesting to see how that has progressed from ancient Egypt into Greece, and then even now to modern statues, and how they interpreted that. Like, it's a way of storytelling. I don't speak other languages, but if I were to see a sculpture from somebody who I could not otherwise communicate with, that's me being able to have a conversation with them.
Perry Apostolakos, UI7 Newsbreak.
Students in Anthropology 101 had unexpected guests join their class this past Tuesday. Students experienced a brief classroom disruption when the squirrel fell from the falling their house ceiling during their lecture. A student captured this video of the creator on the Snapchat. We will have to see if he passes class or if it goes nuts.
Coming up, Champaign residents celebrated Oktoberfest this past weekend, and Lederhosen has never looked so chic.
YouTube sensation David Dobrik visits the University of Illinois campus, and bikers received free lights to help keep Illinois light.
All this and more after the break.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But I get it, you're busy, and busy people can't have prediabetes. I read that wrong. They can, okay? Just go to the site.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. Yeah, I get it.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
For the last 7 years, the Champaign-Urbana Oktoberfest has celebrated German culture. People eat, drink, dance, and dress in the traditional German way. Newsbreak's Jose Zepeda went to the festival to get some outfit inspiration.
With a clank and a spray, Mayor Finan introduced the 2019 Oktoberfest. Beers, brats, dancing, polka, Lederhosen. Champaign felt a sliver of Germany, and many were dressed for the occasion.
And if you weren't wearing the Lederhosen, I mean, you're like, oh man, I should have done that, because it's just you're just part of the party when you're doing that, and everybody's part of the party.
One particular standout was Champaign Mayor Deborah Finan, who chose not to put on her dirndl.
This falls on a day where I've got a lot of other events, and so I'm not going to dress like the St. Pauli girl and then go to another event.
Unfortunately, I don't have any German attire, so this is going to have to do. Although the attire dates back to the 18th century, the clothes are still purchasable today. But how much does it cost?
And they can be very expensive. Really, the finest quality lederhosen are made from deer skin, and they can run upwards of $1,000 or more just for the pants.
Of course, not everyone was wearing German attire, but that doesn't mean they weren't having any Spaß. That's fun in German.
I highly recommend it to everyone. I love how there's a lot of people here. It looks like a great turnout.
Lederhosen or not, the drinks kept flowing. In Champaign, Jose Zepeda, UI7 Newsbreak.
The new building takes on a lot of rich history since 1969. The site becomes a second home for African American students. This past weekend, the Bruce D. Nesbitt African American Cultural Center celebrated the 50th anniversary at the new location on Matthews and Nevada. Faculty and staff, community officials, family members, and friends gathered at the dedication. Chancellor Zhong says Bannock is a home away from home for people.
That many of our African-American students said this is not just another building. It simply invites them in. It gives them a sense of belonging and a sense of place at this great university.
Focusing on supporting black students, the new center offers many resources such as dance studios and radio studio that the older center did not have. Donations were made, activism was recognized, and artifacts throughout the years were presented at the center, but community support was shown.
Last Thursday marked the 12th annual Light the Night event, where cyclists received free bike light installation to keep them safe while riding at night. Over 1,000 bikes were set to be installed with lights for members of the Champaign-Urbana community. Volunteers from every age and background participated in the event by helping to install the lights. Beckman Institute researcher Barry Israelowitz has volunteered every year since the event first began.
There's been more and more biking year on year, and we hope that getting 1,000 bikes lit, getting 2,000 lights on bikes will help with that and help convince even other people to have lights on their bikes.
Riding bikes can be an enjoyable activity for everyone, but safety is a must.
Colleges Against Cancer kick off Pink Week with t-shirt sales on the main card. This event sells many t-shirts, and all proceeds are donated to the American Cancer Society. This is the start of many breast cancer awareness activities for the student organization. Members of the club made different shirt designs and voted on the best 2 shirts to sell. The last day to get the shirt is this Friday.
American YouTube star David Dobrik is coming to the Illini Union this Tuesday, October 15th, to talk to students about his rise to fame. Dobrik started making videos on a mobile app called Vine, where he reached over 1 million followers. Now on YouTube, he has over 12 million subscribers.
It looks like fall has finally arrived as temperatures begin to decrease. Grab a jacket this weekend to prepare for the colder weather. The weekend. Let's see the weekend forecast. On Friday, it's gonna be a little bit of rain, and the lowest one will be 33, and the highest one will be 16. And in the weekend, we will have a sunny one. The lowest one will be 41, and the highest one will be the 55 on the Saturday, and with the lowest one, the 35, and the highest one on Sunday will be the 63.
I'm glad that the weather is finally getting colder. It's been so hot, but now I can finally, wear a sweater and drink some hot chocolate and just cozy up.
That's great, and I will have a try about the pumpkin mochas. That's the best one during autumn.
I'll have to give a pumpkin mocha a try. I've actually never had one.
That's perfect. So for more of our stories, please follow us on the Facebook.
Or you can see more of our stories on our YouTube page. That's all we have for this edition of UI7 Newsbreak.
Thanks for watching. Have a great day.